this week on Diplomatic Channel. Could Britain be back to square one over its Brexit deal? It's been a week of no's for the Prime Minister, who even put her job on the line just to have her deal passed. We'll be looking at what happens next from here on out for the nation. Plus, with Nigeria showing off its leadership on the continent through the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, the Minister of Foreign Affairs talks about some of Nigeria's aspirations on the continent and across the world. Welcome to the program, everyone. I am Amarachi Ubani. Let's begin from home. As the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jeff Onyeama, on Friday assured the country's neighbors that President Muhammadu Buhari, as ECOWAS chairman, will continue to work closely with the management of all ECOWAS institutions towards the realization of common aspirations and goals. During a two-day retreat of the ECOWAS Permanent Representatives Committee, jointly organized by the ECOWAS Commission and the Permanent Mission of Nigeria to ECOWAS, the minister called out the body on its lack of full implementation of ECOWAS protocols aimed at fast-tracking economic integration and development in the sub-region, especially the protocols on free movement of persons, goods and services. He called on ambassadors to do more in convincing their respective governments to ratify some of the key pending protocols and agreements, as well as domesticating them. Now, I remember it was a while back during the AU summit in Addis Ababa, the same minister also talked to us about Nigeria's ambitions for the rest of Africa and why the country's foreign policy is still applicable at this time.
We have a strong foreign policy that essentially responds to our needs of today. And what are our needs today? Essentially economic. You know, our foreign policy is geared to encourage greater economic interaction between Nigeria and other countries. It really, trade has to underpin, our foreign policy, and so we're putting a lot of effort into attracting foreign direct investment, engaging with countries and letting them know that Nigeria is ready for business.
You talked earlier about pushing Nigeria's membership or Africa's membership in the UN Security Council. Do you think that will ever happen?
As I say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. It's obviously not something that we are holding our breath for, that it's not going to happen in the next year or two, but it's going to be a process. And, there are a lot of complications there, in quote complications, different interests and competing interests. And in a situation that requires consensus, it's always going to be difficult to get unanimity amongst the 5 permanent members. They have to decide, and where the interests do not coincide, which they don't with regards to this, you're always going to have problems.
Do you think that's because they don't see Africa as an equal?
No, that's not the reason. The reason is that they all have different interests. So, for instance, Germany. Some of the countries that are permanent members, the Western European ones, would like to see Germany have a permanent seat in the Council because it's a big economic power. Some countries would not want to see Germany there for ideological and other reasons. Some countries feel that India deserves to be there. There are some members of that 5 who definitely don't want to see India there. Some countries want to feel that Japan should be there. Some countries are adamant that Japan should not be there. Countries that want Japan to be there would like, if they want to discuss it, to get their way. So this is the intractable, it would seem at the moment, issues that are involved.
My final question was about China. What you said back then, that African countries also have to listen to Western powers. But for continents that depend so much on aid from the West, you don't think that this will clash with the interests that both continents have?
No, because essentially they are they're competitors for the African market. In other words, Western Europe, of course, would like to to engage more with African countries as they used to in the past. China is eating away at a lot of that, and so clearly it's not going to resonate so well with them, just as China is eating into every part of the world economically. So I don't think that the issue is that the Western European countries or the Western countries do not want, African countries to trade with China or to get, assistance from China per se. But I think it's more a question of, competition more than anything else. And after all, the Europeans, China's biggest markets are not in Africa, but they're with the United States and with Europe. So you cannot be telling us, well, be careful about trading with them when they are your biggest trading partners.